And hello everybody, Jingle12 here. We are back once again with another video. We are going to be playing some great cube defense today. I'm not even looking at the camera. Hi! Guys, we're going to be playing cube defense today. We're actually going to be checking out a new tower. You hopefully already know what it is. If you don't know what it is, oh my gosh, the audio is messed up. That was loud. If you don't know what this tower is, well, here's the leak warning. Oh, well, too late now. I've already shown it. It is right here. The Great Egg Cannon. Look at that baby. That is the new tower rewarded upon defeating Cube Quest. It is a limited time tower. Pretty epic looking. Honestly, this is a really good looking model. I love this model. It's just so good. I love it so much. So definitely well done, well made on Weeby's part, so very happy with that. The model, I'm kind of studying it because I'm making my own model right now, so I kind of want to know how he does these things, you know? Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the rings. I don't know how he does those rings. I'd like to figure that out at some point. I can see how he does most of everything else though. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So let's go on. That's a good look at the first model, by the way. I mean, let's go ahead. Let's just take this for a second. I actually cannot defab. You guys, look here. I'm clicking. You can hear me clicking. It's doing nothing. It's doing nothing. I don't know why, but it's broken. So we're gonna place ourselves 5 of these towers, and then we are going to upgrade them to each different level. And this one should be max. There we go. So those are the 5 level cannons, egg cannons. So let's look at level 1. Already looks good. We kind of already looked at it here a little bit. It's got a green spike, a little handle down there. I apologize for that cough right there. The damage is 15. Player limit of 5. They're all player limit of 5. You can only place 5 total. You know, I feel like I'm getting overdone here by the music. I don't know if it's me. I'm just gonna turn my own audio down because if it's too loud, I can't really hear. The fire rate is 5 seconds. It's pretty slow, to be honest. It has a splash damage of 10, which isn't bad for level 1, and considering the cost, it's really good with the damage of 15 and a splash damage of 10 for level 1. That's pretty good, undeniably. The range is 15. That's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's pretty just okay, I guess. Explosion size of 4, pretty small. And then it's got metal sight, but no shadow sight. We'll be exploring the rest of the. Oh, and then it requires 7 hits to be upgraded here. All right, so now that we've looked at that one, let's check out the new one. Its name is Drunker Wheels. I'm seeing some darker indentations. Looks like that's got a metal ring around it now. It's got I think that's about the only different, you guys. And then we've got the handles metal. Basically it's got some metal added in, as you can kind of tell the difference here. There's some metal along there. The cannon seems to be pretty much the same size. The only difference is the wood. The stand basically is just stronger and is metal built into it. The difference here is the damage is the same, player limit of course is the same, fire rate has been decreased by 0.5 seconds. The splash damage is still 10. The range has the range been increased? No, it is not. The hit requirement though has gone up to 10. Of course the fire rate is now decreased slightly, so that's not as bad of an issue. It does make it a bit slower to be upgraded though. It's too much of a gain for it to be equal. The increased fire rate does not make up for the increased hit requirements in my opinion, but we'll have to see. Shadow sight is still false. You can still see metal, of course. The explosion size is 5, which is 1 more than previously, and its tempo gain is now 30 instead of 15 like the previous one. Alright, let's move on to the level of 3, which is called Big Boom. As you can clearly see, the cannon has been enlarged severely. That's probably an easy upgrade. Oh, I forgot to mention the handle. The handles are different, and if you look inside the cannon here, each handle represents the color of the egg. As you can see, that one's red, that one's pink. So pink handle, red handle, yellow handle, blue handle, and green handle. So that's kind of how you can tell. Did that just play the same song over again? Okay, well we'll just move on to the next one. Sorry. So yeah, this one's quite simple to be honest. I don't see the only difference I can see is just a bigger cannon and then color, of course. So not much of a difference there. in terms of modeling. Let's look at stats here. The damage has been increased severely from 15 to 25. Fire rate is the same. Splash damage has been increased by 3. It's now 13. The range has been increased by 2, which is pretty good. It's still not insane though. It's still pretty moderate. Metal sight is still true, of course. The hit requirement is now 12, which is 2 more than previously, so it's going to take even longer to upgrade. The shadow sight is still false. The explosion sight is now 8 instead of 5. That's a pretty big bonus there. That gives you a lot more damage. And then the temple gain is 45 instead of 30. So they seem to be increasing in 15 unit intervals. I will note here, this tower used to have a much larger explosion size. That was nerfed recently. The explosion size used to be equal that to the egg launcher, and that was nerfed now. It does not any longer have that sort of explosion size, and the radius is definitely smaller. We'll be comparing these all to the egg launcher in a second. If we look here, let's move on to the next one. I kind of skipped ahead. We got to look at the wheels. Now it's durable support. Looks like the whole entire carrying system, the wheel system, and its supports, it all seems to be turned to metal now. It's no longer any bit wood. Everything's metal. It looks like the cannon is now steel. Anything that was metal previously is now steel, and anything that was wood looks to be like some sort of metal. Diamond. What do you call those? Like diamond foil, diamond metal. There's a name for it. I forgot what it is in studio, but that's what the wood is now, is the diamond metal designs, and then it's got, excluding this of course, this looks like it's got it there too, even though this was not. Is that rope? No, that's still diamond designing there. And then as you can see, the if you're not looking at me, the egg is red, and so is the handle. So yeah, it looks really good, and it's kind of cool to see it in a metal look there. The damage is 25, which is the same as last time, right? Yeah. Play limit is still 5, of course. The fire rate is 3.8. It's been decreased by 0.7 seconds now. That's pretty good. It's getting down now. Splash damage is 13. I believe that's the same. Yep. The range has been increased by, what is it, 3? So it's starting to get itself some range now. It's actually got a moderate range. That's pretty good. It's pretty good range right there. The hit requirement is 17 now. That's a large increase from the previous. That's 5 more. That's quite a lot, I'll be honest. The explosion size is 8 now. What was the previous ones? 8 as well. So the 8 has not changed. The temple game as well has increased by 15. So that's pretty much the same. I believe this one will be 75. So that just seems to be increasing by 15 unit intervals for all of them. And that was kind of expected. I've noticed that most towers are that way, if not all of them are that way, where they grow by 15 unit intervals. See, that one's 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, see how they all increase by that sort of level? So yeah, that's how that works. Also, oil rigs and those things now enhance the temple. It's kind of nice to see that. Alright, so we've gone over every single tower now, but this guy, the extravagant explosion. So this guy seems to be the big boss here. He's quite pretty. I mean, look at that. We got neon now, a little bit of neon, not a lot of neon, but we just got some right there on the nails and on the rings. The cannon's still the same size, of course, but now this steel has become black diamond metal or whatever. I still don't remember. I'm gonna go in a studio after this and figure out what the name is, because it's something like that. There's diamond something. The previous wooden area here is now actually pink, and same for that. So not all the steel. So some of the steel became pink. Some of the cannon steel actually became black, and these rings here are now black as well. So yeah, I don't think Weeby would have liked that. I agree with him. I don't think this would have looked good at pink like these do. So that's a good design option there. I'd like that. And then the spokes there and the nail there, they are now pink. Sadly, that is not pink. That should be pink too, I would say. I don't know why that's not pink. Well, then again, that's not pink there. I don't know. I guess that's not I guess that's intended not to be pink, but I would have liked to see that whole entire part pink, but maybe not. Maybe it looked better the other way, so I trust Weeby to know best here. So yeah, and then let's look at the stats. The damage is 50, that is double, I'm clicking back here to check. It is double the previous one's damage. That's pretty crazy right there. Fire rate's been decreased by, I believe, 6.6 seconds. Yep, it's down to 3.2. Splash damage is 20. Is that up by 3 points? I think that, yeah, no, 7. 7 damage. So 7 damage more. So that's now at 20, which is actually really good. That's not bad, especially for the fire rate. That's a pretty good amount of damage. The range is 23 compared to 20 of earlier. So it's, wait a second. This one has a hit. Okay, that's the difference. This one doesn't have a hit requirement. Of course it doesn't. It's maxed. It's now has metal sight, of course, but it still does not have shadow sight. It never had shadow sight. Never did. So you're gonna have to have a campfire on this thing to give it shadow sight. I don't know about explosion damage. I guess that'll do damage to shadows. I don't really know that anymore with the update. I knew it used to, at least. I don't know about currently though. So. Let's look at what else. The explosion size is now 10. What was it previously? 8. So it's now up to 10. It's not bad. It's not insane either. It's not great though. And then the typical game's 75 still. So yeah, pretty moderately good tower. I'd say this is a good kind of. I'd say. I'd put this in early game tower, maybe mid game tower, but it would be more of a support mid game tower. Wouldn't be good late game. This is probably the best used in early game with spam early game. And it's also, we never checked prices here. What was the pricing for upgrading? This one 900, 1,530. This one is 2,975, and then that one's 6,000. So yeah, cheap upgrades too. So yeah, these are very good early game towers to be using. So very well done, very well modeled. It's one of my honestly, this is one of my favorite models so far, just because of how it looks with the cannon and everything. So yeah, this is gonna be one of my favorite models. Now we've kind of got to look here because there's another tower that is also themed after Easter, and it's called the Egg Launcher. And as you guys can see, we're each one has its own level too. Now we're not gonna get into as many. Error occurred. Okay, a fix please. I guess we had a light spike. We're not gonna get into all the specifics on looks and everything. We're just gonna be comparing stats here. Each, from what I can tell, each tower seems to have its own bonuses, its positives, negatives. For example, this one has damage of 15. This one has damage of 1. However, this one's splash damage is also 10. This one's splash damage is also 10. The difference here is the range and then fire rate. This one's got a much larger range. Look at that. A range of 15 compared to a range of 30. That's double. That's more range than the maxed out cannon. So level 1 is already better on range than this guy. So that's crazy. Temple gain is actually the same, so that should mean that the same temple gain is the same for all. Yeah, so they all have the same temple gain. Same temple gain rate as these guys do. So it's not a great temple point bonus though, just so you guys know. I wouldn't suggest using this for temples at all. Then on to level 2, rate damage 15. So this guy does actual direct damage. These guys don't, it seems. Splash damage is the same all around. Range has been increased though. This one's range was increased, was it not? No, it was not. Okay, so what's the difference between these? Is it the fire rate? Yeah, it's the fire rate. Okay, so this one's got a better fire rate as well compared to this guy. And look at that also. Stronger wheels, modified frame. Then we go to steady aim, big boom. And then we go to durable support, metal frame. And then we go to extravagant explosion, Eggsploring. So those are kind of similar names. I think the really big difference is this one and this one. Those are really the only different names. Let's actually compare these now. Damage of 25, damage of 1, direct damage, of course. Splash damage of 13, still a splash damage of 10. However, big things here. One, look at its fire rate, 3.2 seconds. This one is 4.5 seconds. Look at its range. If you couldn't tell already, 45 range. Look at this one's range. Look at that. 17. It's less than half. Less than half of the range of this guy. Look at that. That's like a quarter of the map. Let's place this right here and see how far it gets. Look at that. That is insane. That is an insane range. That is an absolutely beautiful range. So yes, that's its big advantage right there. It's insane range. If we go on ahead and we move on into the next one, a durable supply. Did we miss anything? I don't think so. Explosion size of 8. Explosion size of 20. We didn't even talk about explosion size, did we? This one has an explosion size of 20 as well. Okay, so this one seems to have a steady explosion size until it reaches level 4, level 5. This one has a slight increase. It doesn't increase much. The biggest one is 10. Which reminds me, this one's already 20. This one's already double the explosion range of this guy. So it's got some explosion range too. I forgot to mention that. So that's a big thing too. Your explosion range has a lot to do with how much damage this tower does overall. If we look onto the level 4 here, we can see it has damage of 25, damage of 5 now. We finally got a bit of a bonus here. Also, I forgot to mention, the colors also do not match. Look at that. Green, blue, yellow, red, and pink. White, yellow, green, red, orange. There is no pink. The red's the same. Green is not. Yellow is not. And white doesn't even exist over here. Green is in replacement for white. So that's kind of interesting to me. Oh, and there's no blue over here either. So yeah, that's kind of cool. We'll be looking at the cannon animations in a second. Let's finish off this comparison. If we splash damage is 13, this one splash damage is 15. Got a better splash damage now, and a much better explosion size. It's an insane explosion size, and combined with its range, which is insane, that's even more than this guy. It's got 50 now. That's even more. That's insane. It's now of course I will say its damage is just low. And then it's got a fire rate of 3.2, which is the same as this guy. And they're the same here. So yeah, really good fire rate, really good splash damage. No, not really good splash damage. Really good splash damage range, and then really good range in general. So I mean, look at that. That's an insane range right there. If we look here at Explosion and Extravagant Explosion, we have some severe differences, but some slight similarities too. We're going to be comparing here the level 5 towers and see exactly which ones are what their positives and what their negatives are compared to each other. So let's just start with the Extravagant Explosion. A damage of 50. The Explosion has a damage of 15. Extravagant has a flare limit. Well, of course it has a fire rate of 3.2. This one has a fire rate of 3. The cannon has a splash damage of 20. Splash damage of 25. Better splash damage. Better fire rate. However, direct damage is much lower. Much lower. Metal sight, true of course, and then range is 23. 50. The same as this one. 50. That is insane. This one's still 23. It's just a little bit less than half. If we look at the explosion size, this one has an explosion size of 10. And this one has an explosion size of 40. You guys want to know what an explosion size of 40 looks like? Let's see here. Is it seriously just about as big as this? Surely not. This guy's got a range of what, 30? And then explosion size of 4. Okay. My word. I'm assuming that's smaller than actual range units, because like if it had an explosion size of 40 and a tempo gain and a range of 50, that means wherever it exploded, it would do almost as big. It would be almost as big. It'd be like to right here, all the way around. So I don't think that's true. I don't think that's the actual explosion range. That's probably something different. So. Alright, so I think we've gone over everything. I think, yeah, that's everything there. So I think this guy is better for direct damage, a bit slower fire rate, but still does a small amount of explosion damage, but at the cost of lower range and lower slower fire rate and a smaller explosion size. This one has an insane explosion size, but a better fire rate and a much better range. I mean, look at that range. But it's just a bit weaker when it comes to direct damage. So I would say honestly the Explosion is better, and I mean it's to be expected, it's an older tower, but at the same time this one does have its own positives to it and can be used well in your own inventory. I think that's about everything for those towers, except for let's just quickly take a moment and just check out some animations here. We can use, for example here, let's take a lead cube. You guys can kind of see this here. The animation. Is it fire? Maybe. Okay. You didn't. Really, man? Okay, so I guess it's just too slow to hit a single cube. Okay, so there we go. We kind of had to shoot it there. Oh, look how much damage it did to it off the bat, though. There it was. Okay, so there's an animation there. Let's we can take a look at each and every one of these here. So we'll place all of them. This guy can be moved. We can move him right here. We'll take some quick animation looks here. We'll upgrade this one to level 5. Have the level 5 at the far corner. We'll kind of go from level 1 to level 2, level 3. So, oh, that one went too far. We'll replace that real quick. As I said, as you probably could figure out, the limit is 5, by the way. I've got 5 placed. I said that earlier. So you can't place a lot of these and really stack with them. Though I have heard that they are pretty good when you spam them, but however, you can't really spam these, so it's kind of sad that you can't do some spamming with towers like these. They've actually got not a bad explosion damage. Like, look at that. Honestly, it's kind of impressive. Let's go on ahead with some ice cubes. See how they handle with some 2000. Now this is where they start to struggle. As you guys can see, look at that. Look at that. They barely touched it. That's why it isn't considered a good late game tower in my opinion, because it can't handle those sort of HP, those cubes with high HPs. Now I could probably do a bunch of splash damage, but I mean not as much as Egg Launcher could do, so. It's a moderate tower. So as you guys could probably, hopefully you could see the firing there, the animation. I hope you did enjoy that. Yep, so I think that's about everything we have for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, please hit the like, comment, or subscribe button down below. Like it if you enjoyed it. If you want more content like this, subscribe. And comment if you have something to say or add on to this video, or if you just want to say hi to me. I check out my comments all the time and say hello to you guys. I think this video went really well today. I don't know about you guys too. If you want to put a comment down, let me know how you thought of this video went. I honestly really liked it. I think I went just well and talked very smoothly. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Kind of a personal note there, guys. Hope you did enjoy. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.